I really don't know how to start this video. So, Medallions. They were first introduced to Fortnite at the beginning of Chapter 5, and they've been in the game ever since, maybe except for a remix. I feel like they are an essential part of the game now, especially since it's somewhat difficult for me to imagine Fortnite without them. Despite not always going for a medallion, I do like to keep in mind that someone else might have one, and depending on how good or overpowered it is, if they come close to me, I might be chilling or fearing for my life. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they stayed in the game forever, as long as they would be good and balanced, of course.
What are you doing? Go back and get the metaboloid! Stop! Stop trying to heal! Go in and get the metaboloid! The Peter Griffin metaboloid's right there!
So, what makes a good medallion? Well, a good medallion should have a decent ability that justifies trying to get it. No one is going to go after one that does basically nothing. Another thing to keep in mind is that overpowered medallions aren't good. A well-made medallion should grant the player a decent boost, but it shouldn't give them aimbot or make them... Basically, a good medallion should grant a boost that can help you win a match and not serve it to you on a silver plate. So with that being said, I would like to go over some medallions we had in the game and express my opinion about them.
Peter, this is the most reckless thing you've ever done.
Oh, come on, Lois. What about that time I was in Fortnite?
I'm going to start off with the first medallions ever added to the game. All of the society medallions did the same thing. They gave you shields over time. The maximum amount of shields you gained depended fully on how many you were carrying. While holding one, you would get 2 shields up until you got 50 total. With 3, you would get 4 shields up until you got 70 total, and with all of them you would get 6 shields up until you got 100 total. So, what do I think of them? Well, for the most part, they were decent, especially for being the first ones added. My main issue with them is that at launch they didn't have a shield cap. And on top of that, even if someone holding one of these got hit, it wouldn't stop giving them shields. Overall, not bad for the first ones added.
Do you like my sword, 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 my diamond sword, sword? You cannot afford, my diamond sword, sword.
Okay, don't even get me started on the Shogun X medallion. This thing is one of the very few issues I have with Season 1 of Chapter 6. Basically, this medallion gave you invisibility while sprinting, and I would be happy with it if it only did that. But no, someone at Epic thought it would be a good idea for it to also give infinite sprint. Now okay, I could live with the fact that this medallion had an overpowered ability, but someone thought that it would also be a good idea to make the boss drop not only the medallion, but also a mythic version of the Typhoon Blade. One thing I forgot to mention is the fact that a medallion can be ruined by the weapon you get with it. And this is the perfect example of just that. I feel like this medallion wouldn't have been so bad if it weren't for this dumb sword. I'm going to move on to the next medallion before this video turns into a rant about the Typhoon Blade. Out of all the medallions we had in the game, I feel like the Siphon medallions were executed perfectly. They weren't meant to help you win a fight, they were meant to reward you for doing so. They gave you 50 health or shields upon eliminating a player. Because of this they encouraged a more aggressive playstyle, since any health you lost during a battle could be easily regained as long as you eliminated an opponent. Basically, as long as you were able to get kills during a match, you wouldn't really need to carry any healing items. This gave you an empty inventory slot, which could be used to carry another weapon, mobility, or a defensive item.
Run! It's Godzilla!
It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not.
Listen, I'm fine with Epic reusing medallions, especially if they choose the right one like the Siphon medallion. But in the case of the Godzilla medallion, I'm honestly disappointed. Just like the Cerberus medallion, this one gives you dashes that replenish over time, and my main issue is with this ability. Yeah, it's not something that makes it impossible to kill, but I think it's just kind of annoying to fight against. Another thing to keep in mind is that this medallion was the only way to get these dashes. I mean, there were the Godzilla's fragments, but let's be honest, who was carrying those? I think that this medallion could have worked if you could only have one dash stacked instead of 3. If I were to choose between the Cerberus and Godzilla medallions, I would go for the Cerberus one. Don't get me wrong, they both are the same, but I'm not a huge fan of the way you obtain the Godzilla one. I'm not going to go into any details, just know that I don't really like how Epic handled the Godzilla collab. It could have been done way better. Another medallion that I think was done pretty well was the Scorpion medallion. It made it so your first shot from the magazine caused an explosion, as long as it hit someone. Basically, it rewarded you for landing your first shot. It wasn't anything overpowered, just making your first shot more powerful. I guess you could argue that if paired with the Mammoth pistol, it could be broken, but let's be honest, if you get hit by a shot from that pistol, you're practically dead anyway. Unless you're really good at the game or something, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I probably should have gone after this medallion more, but oh well, it's just a good medallion overall. I honestly really like medallions. Yeah, Epic might scrub by adding a broken one from time to time, but overall they can work. They can offer a decent spin on the gameplay, encouraging different playstyles. For example, the Super Shield medallion. It spawns a shield bubble when using healing items. I found it to work the best with mini pots, which I tend to carry almost every match. It doesn't work as well with other heals, but that's the thing. If you're carrying something like the Chug Jug and get this medallion, you're encouraged to use a different healing item. Or at least that's how I see it. I've seen people talking trash about it, and I don't really understand why. Like, sure, it might not work for your playstyle, but it might work for someone else's. It's just a good medallion, nothing overpowered, and can be used well if you know what you're doing. Anyway, that's everything I had to say here, so see ya.